All right, end of day one. So we had an abbreviated schedule today. I only had 3 of my 5 classes, and I only saw the 9th graders today. A little bit about how I start off the school year, and I've talked about this in other videos too, but in case this is your first one, I'm gonna talk about it again. 1, this is my 12th year teaching. Something I've done almost every year is that when the students are walking up to the building in the beginning of the day, I make sure that I go out and greet them. So they're not just like coming in and they don't know anyone, they don't see anyone. What I want to do is build a sense of familiarity so that when kids see my face, they know that I'm someone they can talk to. They know I'm someone that's trusted. They know I'm someone that cares about them because they see me like out and about in the building and like taking time to shake hands and say what's up to kids, asking how their summer went and stuff like that. So in the rain this morning, stood out in front of the building with the principal and our head security guard, and we greeted all the kids that came into the building. And then as the students are passing classes, even if I don't have a class coming in, I stand at my door and I greet kids every single day and say hi to everyone, and everyone has to shake my hand. And really that's my way of showing a sign of respect to you, because my only classroom rule is give respect, get respect, which is kind of corny, but that's the only rule I need to tell you because you're 14 and you should know how to control yourself.
Please don't cry like that. Please don't, Brennan.
Even if you don't, I'll work with you with that, but is at the end of the day, I make sure that I'm saying goodbye to kids. I'm trying to remember who I had that day and just saying like, yo, peace out. Or sometimes I'll tell kids like, hey, make bad decisions tonight and get in trouble. And what that does is it's not just the same old teachers saying nice things to you as you leave, because I think that's what kids expect a lot of times, or that's what they might think they're gonna get. And it's easy to just say thanks back or not really think about what's being said. So it's me saying in like a subversive way that I want them to make good decisions, but instead I say, hey, make bad decisions tonight, make sure you get in trouble. And I don't know. I guess it's kind of like saying break a leg, right? That's kind of a weird thing to say to someone. Then I am in no rush to leave at the end of the day. If someone lost something today, if I see someone just milling around the building, I'll just say like, yo, what's up? How was your day? And all this just builds a sense of familiarity with the teacher, and it just makes for a better start of the year for students. So in my class, the way that I start the year is much different than how I started it years ago when I started teaching. I don't do any rules. I don't do procedures. I don't do seating charts. I don't do icebreakers. I don't like I'm not an icebreaker dude. I get that they work for some people. I can't get around them. They're so awkward. I really like talking to people too. If they just said go talk to people for 10 minutes, I'd have a great time with that. But then when they make it a game, it's bothersome. The way that I start the year is, the first thing I tell the kids is like, look, this is gonna be the best class of the day. This is gonna be the best year ever. I hope that you love reading. I hope you come in excited to read, but if you don't, I'm so glad that you don't like English class. I'm so glad that you hate reading books. If some kid tells me that every English teacher he ever had sucked, that just sets the bar so low for me to be awesome. It's like the best. It's like getting a puppy from the shelter.
In the arms of the angel.
You know, they never had it as good as they got it at your house. So even if you don't do that great, it's still way better than being in a kennel somewhere. They just compare children to dogs, yes, but you see what I was going for. I tell the kids how excited I am to be there, that I'm a teacher that actually wants to teach them, that I am excited every day to make this the best class of the day. I think the difference there is that a lot of teachers go in trying to scare kids on the first day, or trying to like put their foot down that like they're not gonna get anything over on them. And I had a couple of guys today that were like mumbling under their breath, or they were talking to the guy next to them, or they weren't, when I said I need everyone quiet and working, they weren't quiet and working. The funny thing is that the longer I do this and the more confident I've become, the more I realize that moment isn't the be all end all. I'll get there with you, but it's gonna take time. I'll get there with this class. They will be awesome. It might take a little longer for some classes to get there. So I don't put all of that worry on myself that a lot of teachers do at the beginning of the year, and that I used to do, which is thinking that the beginning of the year could be the end of the world. Like if you didn't do the right thing. Then we transition from my brief intro on who I am, what I do, how excited I am for the beginning of the year, into students taking out a piece of paper and a pen or pencil, and they write a letter to themselves. And I put up very simple questions and ask them, what they're excited about in high school, what they're afraid of in high school. I ask what's their favorite song, movie, TV show, who their best friends are, who would they consider a hero. One of the things I'm trying to do is create a snapshot of the kids, and then I take those letters, I seal them up, I give them back to them at graduation, their senior year. And about 80% of them forget about those letters, and it's a really exciting way to teach kids how much you can change and how much you can grow in so little time. And then that's the end of my first day. Like, that takes the entire class period, and then I won't see them until Monday. I guess I'd say, kind of in closing for today, don't be afraid to have fun or to be your authentic self from the jump, like from the first day. Don't be worried about the kids pulling one over on you or them disrespecting you, or it's kind of like we think that all these teacher nightmares that we literally have, like I had the teacher nightmare I had last night that I showed up at school again with no shirt on, weird, pushing that stuff aside and saying, nope, I'm not afraid to tell you that this class is going to be amazing. And some of the kids aren't going to have an awesome year, but you know what, some people can live in paradise and complain about it also. Some people, I've taken kids on trips to some of the most amazing places in the world, and someone will still find something to complain about. What I'm trying to do is, I'm not gonna cool it out because someone's not gonna think I'm cool or something. Nope, I come in like spit and fire. I'm ready to go. Tomorrow, my sophomores come in. I'm excited. I know these guys. I'll be giving handshakes and hugs in the hallway all morning, and I'm gonna get them to believe that this is going to be the best year ever also. All right, day 2 of the best year ever. Sophomores and juniors came back today. I was really excited about today because my experiment with my coworker for this year is that we are going to teach the kids that we had in 9th grade last year in 10th grade again. And the idea there is that we're going to try and help these students bridge some gaps that they've had in their learning so far. The way we're planning on doing that is using some testing in class, some just observation. We have much smaller class sizes so we can get to all of those kids that kind of flew under the radar. Or, teachers, sometimes you'll get these students that you didn't really get to know someone until the end of last year. And so it's kind of a missed opportunity because you didn't get to go as deep with them as you would like to. And so we get to hit this year off running, knowing every single kid in the class and being able to jump in and meet them where they're at and bring them up to where they need to be. And today was us being able to do that, telling kids that they were hand selected for the class, which is really, really rare. I don't know anyone that really gets that opportunity to do that, but we made this plan last year, it worked out, and we're hoping that it's really going to benefit the students this year. The other thing that happened today was a student that I had last year that is often on the live feeds, and he comments on all my videos and stuff, and he had this made for me, and I just thought that was the kindest thing. I've never been given a gift before in the beginning of the year. I've rarely been given gifts, period, which is always funny because all you primary school teachers out there and your Christmas gift card madness, that just made the beginning of my day even better to get something so kind and so great. So before I go, I want to just do a quick tour. I'm not sure how well this is going to work because I'm by myself and I'll have my not so secret wife help me out on the camera, but some of the stuff that got done this year, not everything's finished in my room for the year, and that's fine. I'll finish it up within the next couple of weeks, but everything was clean and organized enough that I could start the year, and I felt good about the kids coming in. It wasn't a mess. There weren't piles of things all over the place. I got the book ledges done. They are all in place. I have the books on them that I wanted to have on there. This will change throughout the year, but one of the things, if I can move this carefully, I didn't get the lights up here that I wanted to put up there, so those will show up in time. I just need time to actually work on it and build the brackets that I'm going to put on there. The other thing I almost finished completely was that we painted this wall. It came out nice. It's this bluish gray color as opposed to you can still see a little bit of the old color above here. That looks like hot baby diarrhea. I will paint that eventually, but no one's even going to notice it. Some things I kind of sort of got finished was all of the new bookshelves are in down here. You can see they match these bookshelves, which makes it look really nice. I got my speaker mounted up here. I got my other 2 wall speakers mounted. I like a look of completion in the room. I like a look that things are where they're supposed to be and that's where they're supposed to stay, instead of starting the year or having stuff in your room that's not really fixed. I like things to have a place where they live all the time. And if I have my speakers on my desk, they were always getting knocked over and stuff, and I just feel like this is a better solution to that. The thing I've not rectified yet are all these wires. Like all my wires to be like nice and neat and clean. So I start getting a little like crazy about that stuff, but I just think it adds to the aesthetic of the room and shows kids I'm not going anywhere. Like I put this much time into my speaker wire, like I'll put this much time into you as well. And I don't know that anyone ever thinks that, but that's what I'm thinking. So that's what matters. I got my bulletin board for my word wall. I haven't set this up yet either. I need to get some supplies for it. I don't know if I'm gonna do paper on the back and all that stuff, but new teachers, you'll see this, that when you put something on bulletin board paper, it changes color. So once you take those letters off, they're still kind of on there. And I think I just wanna like not have to deal with that because the words will be changing every week. My most favoritist thing is this creation back here. I got most of my things in place. There's not anything in most of these cases right now. I have a little bit of stuff. Like I got most of my jokes to fit in one suitcase. So I have a box full of jokes. Eyeballs. I use these when I stick them on kids in the hallway and I say, keeping an eye on you. Baby hands, you've seen those in other videos maybe. I keep a roll of cash in here and then I give it to kids sometimes to say, hey man, you did a good job. Get a little something nice for yourself. I have a seatbelt. I've never really used this as a joke yet, but I have it in there. Fake mouse, you know, all kinds of other weird stuff. You can see the entire contents of my desk and all that weird stuff on the what's in my bag / what's in my teacher desk video that will be linked right here. Bing. The idea is that everything I have from screws to hooks to nails to staples will all have their own place that will be labeled in this wall. So every single thing that I need, I can grasp very easily. One of the things that our school does is we're allowed to have TAs, teacher's assistants, you have to be in 10th grade or above to be a teacher's assistant, and you have to apply. I make kids apply. They have to fill out this McDonald's application, which is a McDonald's application from Fiji. And then there's a bunch of ridiculous questions on here too, like how many snow shovels were sold in the US last year, or why are tennis balls fuzzy? The kids think that I'm joking, but the idea here is if you're gonna put the time into looking those questions up, I know that you're the kind of dude that I want to TA for me. And on the back of it is a little coloring page, and what that's gonna show me is, did you take it seriously? Did you pay attention to detail? And if I get something back that's colored all sloppy and nasty, I know you're not the kind of dude I want stapling all my papers together, because you're gonna staple them and they're gonna be all messed up and stuff. So again, part of this idea is that when I do have a TA, if they need staples or if someone needs to borrow something, they can come in and they know exactly where it is, and they don't have to go like searching around looking through my desk drawers. I also got this standing desk set up. It's nice for kids either like as a treat or to like separate someone for a bit, but you don't have to like make them feel like they're being put in a corner.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Someone like has a hard time standing still, they can just sit or stand behind this. I do have a chair in case people get tired, but I tell kids that if you sit in the chair, I gotta give you a shape up. And nobody wants a shape up from Reynolds because I go to a hairdresser and not a barber because I don't have 3 hours to wait for a haircut. That's it right now. I still have a lot of other things I'm hoping on accomplishing this year, but you know, the beginning of the school year comes and you gotta get supply lists in and get all that other stuff done. So you don't really have as much time as you think you do in the beginning of the year. It's the first Friday. It's the end of a very short week. I didn't have any students today because only seniors were in the building today. So I was really just like touching base with seniors, seeing what they did over the summer, seeing what their plans are going forward this year. Then I got the rest of the day to prep. One of the amazing things that's happening this year is that there's no one in my room during any of my preps. My room is completely clear. Typically, because my school is so small, there's other teachers teaching in your room while that's happening. And this year, that just allows me to like meet with students, help students one-on-one, meet with my co-teacher and plan out for the year, which is what we did today. We planned the whole first unit out. We were able to get like all of our lesson planning done for the first couple of weeks. I'm feeling really prepared for Monday. Because I don't jump right into rules and regulations and procedures, that stuff will happen on Monday. I have my syllabus ready, which is really just one sheet. I don't make a very long syllabus because I figure all the other teachers are all talking about pretty much the same thing, right? Like everyone's talking about their policies and their procedures and how they don't take late work and how we all don't do extra credit and all of this other stuff. I don't want to waste my time on those sorts of things. And I don't think the students remember. I think if you have a 4-page syllabus, we'll have something to refer back to and it's very clear, but they're not going to retain all of that information. So I try and keep it short and sweet on one piece of paper and then get into those policies and show them by doing instead of just telling them what they're going to be. Did something new this year that I started halfway through last year, so I'm excited for it to be a first day sort of sort of thing this year. I always have assigned seats in my class. If I already know the kids coming in, I know where I should assign those seats because I know where I don't want kids to be together, and I know who's going to benefit from being in a certain position in the room. If someone has a hard time paying attention, I might put them in a certain seat that'll allow me to just kind of like reach out and like let them know where they're supposed to be right then. I started numbering all of my seats, and the benefit here is whenever you are trying to, if your kid, let's say, so the way that I work this is right in the front, we have seats 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then coming up the back, it's the numbers continue on from the back of the room. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever. The benefit there is that when kids hand in work, no matter what their last name is, I can say, yo, put your number that's on your seat back on your paper. Then when I grade them, I can put them all in number order, which is much faster than alphabetizing them. And then when I hand them back, they're already in order of all the kids. So what that helps you to not have to do is start handing a paper out here and then run all the way back here to hand out a paper. And then come all the way back up here to get another paper. And then run all the way back here to get yet another paper. So doing that just benefits you. It makes handing papers back a lot more easy, a lot more efficient. Yonkers and I were also had enough time today to start planning out like class trips, speakers. We're trying to have different folks come in and speak to our students at least once a month about, you know, who they are, how they made it to where they are today, and just kind of what the action steps were that got them there. The lesson in that is creating a space where students are getting to see someone that they can identify with that's doing what they'd like to be doing. They're not just hearing us talk about putting in hard work and how that's what it takes to be a doctor or an engineer or a writer or an artist, but instead bringing the writers and artists and entrepreneurs into the classroom and having them say, this is how I got here. And that will also inform us as teachers as to like some of the skills maybe we should be focusing on in class to create this sort of real world learning environment that we have going on here. My room is fairly neat, it's fairly organized for the end of the day. I'm set up to go for Monday. That's how I like to leave on Friday so that I'm not worrying about stuff. Then that means I can just like spend time with my kids tonight and tomorrow and then do a little bit of work maybe on Sunday. But next week, beginning of the new school year, is full tilt, full on. Everyone, thanks as always for watching. I hope this new format works out and that it's actually interesting. If there's anything that you'd like to see, please let me know in the comments below. I'll try and make that happen within the classroom or some of my narrative to kind of like give you a bit more insight as to what it's like to actually be a teacher. Have the greatest week ever, everyone. Peace.